So an interesting thing about pareidolia is that it can also, again, the content of pareidolia can be primed, and it can be primed based on, a number of different factors. It can be primed based on our religion, our religious beliefs. It can be primed based on our culture, but it can also be primed based on stories that we've heard and on media that we've seen. So when we've read stories or when we've watched particular movies that have certain phenomena in them, then when we are in a situation where things are uncertain and it's unclear how to interpret different stimuli that we're seeing or hearing, that uncertainty, and often also tied to fear, especially if it's late at night or it's dark or we're in a spooky location, those things get tied into stories that we've heard, things that we might have been exposed to, books that we might have read, movies that we might have watched, and we are more likely to see images or hear sounds that are consistent with those stories. This is actually very similar to something called sleep paralysis. So during sleep paralysis, this is a common reason, relatively common reason, why people experience what they believe are paranormal events. So when we're dreaming, our body's paralyzed, and that's so that we're not acting out our dreams. Sometimes for some people, that paralysis extends into the waking period. So you're dreaming, you're paralyzed, you're not acting out your dream, but the dream state ends and you wake up, so you're conscious, but your body still can't move. And during that time, researchers believe that because we are very afraid, you wake up, you can't move, that signals fear, and it can be a terrifying experience. You're also just coming out of that dream state. That a lot of times people can see things in their room that are quite terrifying. Now, what they see is really based on their culture and what they've been exposed to. So if they've been exposed to, when they were young kids, the idea of like a boogeyman, that might be what they see. If in their culture it's an incubus, then they might feel an incubus sitting on their chest. If they think it's a vampire, they might see a vampire standing in a long cloak in the corner. People see scary things. The scary things that they see really are connected to what they've been primed with through stories and again, through just exposure in their culture.